Yes, the fucking Blues. City 1, Chelsea 0. So I've got some stickers. Ricky Atom, the People's Champion. Pep Guardiola. This is one of my personal favourites. I think he's the yellow on a glass of wine there. It actually looks kind of accurate. Like, you know, you see some stickers and stuff like that where it looks nothing like the person at all. These are the people that it says, I'll read it for you, make your territory FC stickers. So check them out, I guess. This one says, you'll never win 4 in a row. I'm going to have to show them like sideways because like the writing on it, well, for you guys is upside down. But that looks like quite good. Bernardo Silva looks like Nando's. I've got like, if you want me to like make a whole separate video on it, I have gone on my shorts and obviously stuff that I've put it there. It was a great day in terms of like the result, but like the game was boring. The atmosphere felt flat from both sections. Like the City bottom tier, as it always is, was pretty good. The Chelsea, you only heard like, we are famous CFC and Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea. Or, like, I think, yeah, like, when I say Super Chelsea and Chelsea, Chelsea, or like Carefree, we all famous, same as CFC, yeah, that shit. But, like, for a big club like Chelsea, yeah, which they are a big club, we're not going to deny that, even though they have been pretty shit since the Champions League win, like, you'd think they'd have more songs. Like, you see, like, teams like Leeds, Southampton, yeah, they might not have as much success in terms of, like, trophies and stuff like that, but their fan base is miles better than Chelsea. People will say they're miles better than City as well. And the Leeds one I agree with, but, like, I haven't really seen loads of Southampton. I've only seen them once, and that was at the FA Cup semis. I don't know. I have to see them maybe at the Etihad if it's a weekend game at the Etihad next season. And I've got my City shoes on, as always. But, like, I thought Kuznetsov was rock solid at the back, as he always is. I think he was my man in the match. I know Semenyo scored, but I don't think he did really an awful lot. Like, our attack was quite poor, and the midfield was extremely bad today. I don't think I've ever seen Rodri and Bernardo Silva pass the ball to an opposing player as much as I have today. And I think with the Chelsea penalty shout, Kuznetsov on João Pedro. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm fuming that they didn't get given, right? But, like, because I'm a City fan, I'd have been absolutely fuming if it was given. Like, basically, what I'm saying is, if it's one of those ones where it's given for you, you're not complaining, you're celebrating all that shit when it's given. But, like, if it's given against you, you're absolutely fuming. But, like, if you can't, like, do a bit of, like, nudging and shoulder barging, then where's the game going? The game ain't football anymore. If that's my personal take. If you can't shoulder barge, it's not football anymore. Because you've got to know, you've got to show players that you're actually there and willing to, like, put your body on the line for your team, you know what I mean? But, yeah, you've got the match programme here. £12 fucking for a match programme. It is massive, but, like, yeah, you've got Mark Gate, grassroots story, it says. Yeah, you've got Kuznetsov. You've got, obviously, the players on it, yeah. We'll go a bit closer. And, like, you obviously got the players named on the back of the programme. Your officials on the programme as well. Got this about Nico O'Reilly. John Stones in it as well. But I'm a bit gutted that Stones didn't play, because is he going to play last day of the season against Villa? I think it depends if we've got something to play for, because I don't think Pep trusts him in these big games anymore. Because I think if Pep trusted him in big games, then he would have started against probably... Wait, was he fit for the Arsenal game in the Carabao Cup? I can't remember, but if he was fit, he would have played. Like, and if Pep trusted him the way that he used to, he would have played him today as well. And I think, like, Pep's trust in John Stones has gone since like the 23-24 season. Like ever since then, he didn't really play him that much in big games. Like did he play? I can't remember that game where he got the goal against Arsenal to equalise. Whether he started the game or he came on, but like it feels like in the last few years when he has been fit, he hasn't really played many of the big games. I remember Real Madrid where he went off injured, like the one where we got battered 3-1 last season. He played, but for some reason Pep hasn't been playing him in the big games anymore. I don't know if it's because our defenders that we've had the competition have got better, but like he was like starting like in the treble team when like people like would have argued at the time like Laporte was considered as a better defender than him. But I think John Stone's an absolute legend. But like I'm surprised that Pep hasn't played him more since obviously he's been fit the last few like weeks and like months and stuff. Like considering he was like likely to be leaving before he was confirmed to be leaving anyway, but it is what it is. What can you do? But I still stand by that John Stones is a better centre back than Vincent Kompany, right? Because like on the ball ability, 100%, he's a better passer than Vincent Kompany. He's a better dribbler than Vincent Kompany. Like, maybe Kompany, you could argue, is a better defender, but I don't think it's actually as comfortable in Kompany's favour as what it's made out to be. Yeah, Stones did make a few mistakes in his early days at City, but, like, I don't think... I remember, was it, like, when we played Liverpool in the 13-14 season or something like that, where he passed it straight out to Coutinho or something and he scored. I can't remember if it was a winning goal, or was it an equaliser or something, I don't know. I know all players are human and they make mistakes, but like people go on like Kompany's never made a mistake. Yeah, he's a legend and all that. He's got a statue outside the ground, but in my opinion, John Stones should get a statue as well. I know you can't give statues to everyone, but like you've got to give at least like stand names and stuff like that because like I don't really get why we've got a family stand that's called the family stand, but like they should call that the John Stones stand or something like that. But I know people will say, like, Kipak's Corner, but, like, I think you've got to keep your Kipak's Corner there, to be honest, and keep it as Kipak's Corner. But John Stones should get a stand named after him, and so should Bernardo Silva, if you can't give him statues. James Trafford's got to stay. He didn't have a lot to do today, because everyone's saying Chelsea was robbed and all that lot. But what actually chances did they actually create? They had a good chance, like, about a minute after... like City got the winning goal through Semenyo. I think it was a header or something like that. I don't know if it was Enzo Fernandez or something like that. But other than that, I don't really recall them having any clear-cut chances. Obviously, that João Pedro chance was a chance. But like he didn't even get a shot away or anything like that. It's all if buts and maybes with that, to be fair. I've heard Pep Guardiola staying. I've seen a post on Instagram seeing that he's staying as well. Like, people will say, like, the way that he was looking at the City fans, he's leaving 100%. But, like, I feel like if it gets to, like, Monday or something like that next week and we haven't heard anything, he's staying because there's no way he can leave in, like, June or July because then that gives City, like, absolutely no time to tell, like, all of our players that we're potentially signing that. We're going to have to tell you that we're having a new manager and, like, the style of play could be completely different to what the style of play would be if Pep was still the manager. Because then, if he does that, he's fucked us over massively. Because then, like, players like Anderson might not want to come. Like Tonali, whoever we're linked with, Enzo Fernandez. But I don't think, but based on Enzo Fernandez's performances today, for Chelsea, his performance today, I don't really see how he's good enough to play for City in my personal book. Like, I don't think he's a bad footballer, but, like, I just think he never really turned up in these big games. I know he scored against us at the Etihad this season in the fluky 1-1 draw. We should have won that game 100%. Like, there was no way we shouldn't have been winning that game. We missed too many chances, but... yeah, other than that, I don't really see him scoring in many big games. I think, did he score at PSG, but they got battered 5-2, so who really cares? Because they got battered 5-2, no one's going to remember that. But... I think his attitude's all wrong as well. So if you did get a player in that, it's more likely to cause problems than, like, good stuff in the dressing room. And you'd think with, like, stuff with, like, Cancelo and stuff like that, City would have learnt their lesson from last time. And, like, that's why you've never really seen City go for, like, an Mbappe sort of type player. And I think that's why we never went for, like, Ronaldo, either when he was linked to City in 2021, I think, sort of time. Yeah, going into the 21-22 season where... we won the league against Villa last day of the season. But like, I think like that's one of the like, I love Ronaldo. Like he's a red bastard, but like you've got to love him for like the stuff he's done. And I think like to some extent I respect him more than Messi because like the praise that he's gave City in the media, and obviously like I think most of his Ballon d'Ors have been deserved, where I think Messi has fluked a few of them. Like maybe you'd argue the year that Van Dijk should have won, he probably should have got it. Like the year that Haaland should have got it and stuff. And like, I think Ronaldo, most of his Ballon d'Ors was deserved. But like, he's a red bastard, so. But I think it was a blessing in disguise, because if he came, then we never probably would have got Haaland. He would have gone somewhere else, because I think if we didn't get Haaland at the time we got him, then he would have gone somewhere else. And like, I think if we'd have got Ronaldo, that would have shown that Haaland wouldn't have wanted to come to City, and he would have gone somewhere else on that front as well. But on Xabi Alonso to Chelsea, yeah, top muggers, treble winners. I think he either wins the league within 2 years or he's sacked within 6 months, one of the two. But if I can never take Chelsea ever seriously again if they don't give Xabi Alonso more than 6 months, because he's miles better than all the managers they've had over the past few years, even Pochettino in my eyes. Even though like you could argue Pochettino has a higher ceiling, but I think like he's a quality manager. Well, maybe not a quality manager. He didn't really get the time at Real Madrid, but I think he did a very good job at Bayer Leverkusen. Sorry. He did a very good job at Bayer Leverkusen. You put them unbeaten. I don't think anyone's ever done that in Germany, so. And other than Arsenal, the events, oh yeah, we're going to come out about the gold trophy now, are we? But yeah, dickheads. But Xabi Alonso, they've got to give him at least 2 years. If they don't give him at least 2 years, if he does shit in 2 years, then maybe you can have conversations about sacking him. Because I always said with like a manager, you've got to give him a year to bed in. And like, even Pep got a year. In his first season, we was rubbish. Well, we're not rubbish. We came third. We won nothing. Pretty shit season. But like, we was playing good attacking football at times. But like, if you don't give a manager 2 years, it's not really fair, is it? Especially considering that Chelsea's a mess as a football club as enough as it is. So if they don't give him more than 2 years, then you can't take him seriously at all. I just love to see Liverpool tears, to be honest. That's the thing I like the most about that move. But the thing is, like, if they don't challenge under Alonso, I've got a feeling they won't win the league like ever again, or at least for another good 20, 30 years, where I'm probably like in my 50s. But like this season for City, of 2 trophies. Like, I know I've seen like we're doing a parade. Like, people might not agree with that, but I think it gives the young players a good chance to celebrate in front of their supporters, like, and get that hunger feeling inside that chest and heart, whatever you want to call it, and then go on to be more hungry next season, go on the City, and obviously go on to win the league and the Champions League. Because I think for a rebuild season, this is a good season. If this was any other normal season, I'd say it's a bit, not shit, but like, nothing better than decent. But I think for a rebuild season, this is a brilliant season. And considering we've challenged for the league as well. Yeah, the Champions League campaign was shit. Like, we got knocked out early. Like, bad results to, like, Bodo away. And, like, Leverkusen at home and shit like that was shit. But I think, like, if we have another season like this next season, I'd see it as a bit less successful. But, like, for a rebuild season, it's very, very good. And I think we can only build on this now. Go into next season, win the league or win the Champions League. If we don't do that, then I think that's when I think next season becomes a disappointment. But for a rebuild season, it's a very good season. But as a City fan, I think this has been one of my most favourite seasons. I've met Tone, I've met Martin Mancunian Way, I've seen MCSC lads at West Ham, I've met Mr. Southstand. I met loads of great people. Even some people have said hello to me and said they love the content and stuff. So as a City fan, I don't think I've had a season where I enjoyed it much more than this season in terms of like the experience I've had at the game. Obviously, we've seen like much better seasons in terms of like the treble, I believe even 2021-22 where we won the league and the Carabao Cup. But like, I think this season, like in terms of moments, we've had some very good ones, like winning at Anfield, winning at Chelsea, beating Liverpool 3 times, United 3-0 at home. I was at that game as well. The best game of the season I've probably been to. It's tough. It's either United 3-0, Arsenal 2-1, or Arsenal 2-0 in the Carabao Cup final. The Carabao Cup final was a lot more better than today. The atmosphere, the weather was better as well. Well, even though I don't remember the weather being that good, but like it weren't raining, I know that. And it was a fantastic result. And it was one that I didn't really see coming at the time because we were just very inconsistent at that period of the season. But I think that was my favourite game of the season, the Carabao Cup final 2-0. And then the 2-1 against Arsenal was probably the second best, and then United third best. But like I think today's atmosphere was flat and the old like vibe around the game was weird, but we got the job done and that's all that matters. I love Semenyo just the way you are. Hang on, where's the sticker for him? Hang on. Yeah, 1 second, I'll find it. Sorry, bear with me. Yeah, there we go. I love Semenyo. I stuck it up by a bus stop, right? But like it's dark, so I didn't post it. It's on my Instagram story. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Sean City Till I Die 3_. And my profile picture is me like standing next to the like that bit where the barrier is in the family stand. Yeah, I was sat there for the Arsenal game. That's my profile picture. But I do have to say that guy with the bottle, he did overdo it a bit. Like, whether it was banter or not. Like, he does say it is banter. I do agree it probably was banter. But I do think he should have probably waited to see if we actually won the league. Or to see if we was, like, in a position where we was in pole position to win the league. I don't know if that did get in the players' minds and stuff like that. Like, it affected a bit of the mentality that, like, we've already won the league. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But now we have probably got egg in our face with the Premier League title. Unless Burnley can do us a nice one, or Crystal Palace. I think Burnley's more chance than Crystal Palace, in my personal opinion. But I think that's highly unlikely because they're at home. If it was at Turf, maybe more glimmer of hope there. But yeah, I think I'm not hating on that guy, but I do think like maybe that did get in the players' minds a little bit, and like thought he was miles better than Arsenal, but like. I still think we're a better side than Arsenal, even though they're probably going to win the league 99% or 98%, they're going to win the league 100%. But, like, we play better style of football than them. It's just that our midfield is not as good as theirs, and our defence probably isn't as good as theirs either. Our attack's better. We've got better wide players. Like, we've got a better manager. We've got more humble fans. But like, I just think, like, the draws have cost us this season. West Ham away, Forest at home, even though we should have had a few penalties in that game. I remember that they were dirty that game, Nottingham Forest, which you can understand because that was the only way they was going to get something out of the game because where they were in the league and where we were in the league. But I think, and like the caliber of players we've got compared to theirs as well. But I think, like, it's just disappointing that we beat Arsenal in a cup final and in the league to maybe not win the league. But, like, it is debatable who's had the better season, Arsenal or City. Because, yeah, they've won the league. But I think everyone thought they was going to win the league once Liverpool fell off. It was only when they, like, started losing to, like, Bournemouth and us back-to-back where anyone thought City had a prayer of winning the league. Like, so the reason why City are in this title race is because of Arsenal dropping so many points. But, like, if we were really serious, we probably would have got the job done at Everton away. But like, that decision on Doku, like, the decisions in, like, the key, like, 50-50 moments have gone Arsenal's way this season. But I don't think it's a season where, like, they're streets ahead of us. If they were streets ahead of us, I'd be more concerned about us not winning the league. But I just look at our, like, players, and I think our players have, like, a better future than what theirs do. Because I think, Gyökeres, is he going to get much better than what he is? Probably not. Raya, has he got to his peak? I know they've got, like quite a lot of, like, youngish players, but, like, slightly experienced, like, in between that, yeah. But I do think, like, not many of their players are actually going to get better than what they are. And, like, ours can get, like, really better. Like, Kuznanov's going to get better. Mark Gay's going to get better. Semenyo's going to improve. I know, like, Semenyo scored loads and loads of goals, this season since coming in from Bournemouth in January. But like, I think he will improve on his all-round play. You'd hope so, anyway. Nunes, I think he's still going to be at the top level next season. Do we go for Livramento? I don't think so. I think we get a backup option. Whoever that may be, I don't know. Haaland will still be like very good next season. You'd imagine so. Like, we get some new young players in the midfield. Elliot Anderson, whoever, Tonali, whatever. Like, the only thing that I'm concerned with City in terms of like position is probably the goalkeeper. Because Donnarumma is brilliant. But then say if like you sell James Trafford, right, just say for example, and then Donnarumma has a bit of a blip, but you get in a second choice keeper that's shit, then Donnarumma has to play every game despite how good or how bad he may be doing. And I think that's why you've got to keep hold of James Trafford, because I think if James Trafford did stay and Donnarumma did have a bit of a blip where he's playing shit for a few games, then I would keep James Trafford in the team. I mean, like, put James Trafford in the team and we'd all know that he could, like, do really well and we would have, like, a lot of faith in him. But, like, if we say get some random fucker from, like, Singapore or something, put him in net and he's fucking shit, then we can't play him if Donnarumma's, like, having a few, like, bad games. That's why you've got to keep James Trafford in case Donnarumma has a blip. And, like, I just think Trafford's a better option for the future. It'd be a massive mistake if we let go of James Trafford. Like, even if he wants to go, you've got to sort something out with wages or anything like that. Even if you had to pay him more, you've got to keep James Trafford. But I think our squad's like a young team and it's still developing. And you've got like experienced players like Diaz and Ake. I think you've got to keep at least one of them. I wouldn't be against selling Diaz and keeping Nathan Ake, because I just think Diaz, I don't know. But, like, I feel like he's past his peak. I'm not saying Nathan Ake hasn't passed his peak. But, like, you can keep Ake as a squad player. But I just think as a squad option, Nathan Ake is better. That might be a shit take. Like, I love Ruben Diaz. He was brilliant 2021 season. And he was brilliant in the treble season. But I just think, like, Nathan Ake as a squad player is better. Because I think Diaz, when he's starting, he's brilliant. But, like, when he comes in as, like, squad rotation, will he be as good? I don't know. But I think you've got to keep one of them. But, like, if we can keep both of them, great. But I just feel like Kuzanov and Gay are destined to be starting two centre-backs next season. And I think, like, if you did lose Nathan Ake or Ruben Diaz, you've got to look at Van de Ven, especially if Spurs do go down. I think he's a perfect ball-playing centre-back. And, like, I know people say Schlotterbeck, but he has signed a new deal with Dortmund, so I think that's a bit unlikely. So, if Spurs go down, you ring up Tottenham, you're getting Van de Ven. I don't know how he would actually start, though. Like, you could go with Kuzanov at right-back and then Van de Ven and Gay as your two centre-backs, but I don't really know if City would do, like, business with Spurs, considering, like, the Harry Kane saga and stuff like that. But there is no Daniel Levy, so it would be a bit easier. But whether we go back to negotiation with Spurs remains to be seen. But I think if you did have to buy a defender, it would probably be him in my eyes. But thanks for watching. Take care. And out the fucking Blues. FA Cup winners, double winners, City till we die. City. Ma!